Hello, my name is Mrs. Bischoff, and your bundle today is actually going to be an ISTEP review video for you 7th graders that I have in algebra. We really have no time, being a high school class, we really just don't have the time that we need to devote a day or two to ISTEP review. So what I have for you is a video that will walk you through 2 or 3 problems that I've done, as well as have some problems for you through your bundle. So we're going to start off with this introductory / instructional video. The first thing that I have for you, and this is actually embedded into your bundle, is the 7th grade ISTEP reference sheet. I think it's very important that during this assignment, you only use the reference sheet that I have provided. Don't go through your textbook and look through and find any other formulas, and don't get on the internet and try to find other formulas or other ways to solve these problems. It's really important that you get used to manipulating the formulas or the expressions that they've given you on your ISTEP reference sheet, okay? And again, this is embedded in your bundle. All right, so our first practice problem that I'm going to do with you, I'll read out loud, says, Miss Thompson is installing a new tile floor in her kitchen. There are cabinets along 2 sides of the kitchen floor that are 1.5 feet wide, as shown in the diagram. I have this beautiful little picture. What is the area of the kitchen floor, not including the area covered by the cabinets, or the area covered with cabinets? So the first thing that I want to show you is that you can do this one of 2 ways. You can either figure out the area of the entire shape, because it's a rectangle, and from that you can subtract out this area and this area, or if you choose, you can just calculate the area of this rectangle. All right, and that is what I'm going to do. I'm just going to calculate the area of this rectangle. So I know that this entire shape, this entire diagram, is 14.5 feet long. But I also know that I have 1.5 feet of cabinetry. So I'm going to subtract that. So that way I know 14.5 minus 1.5 gives me a total of 13 feet for my length. Now I'm going to look at this side, and I see that this dimension right here is 9.5 feet. However, I have cabinetry here as well, and again, the cabinetry is 1.5 feet. So 9.5 minus 1.5 equals 8 feet. All right, and again, we're calculating the area of the floor. So this is a rectangle, and I know that the formula for the area of a rectangle is length times width, and that is 8 times 13. All right, I'm going to pull up my calculator here to make sure I don't make any mistakes. Let's see, 8 times 13 equals 104. Area is squarea, remember that. So what is the area of the kitchen floor, not including the cabinets? It's 104 square feet. All right, let's look at the second part of this question. The second part is about purchasing tile. It says each 1 foot square tile costs $4.50 before tax. What would be the cost before tax to purchase enough 1 foot square tiles to cover the part of the kitchen floor that does not have cabinets, plus 10 extra tiles? So I'm going to take my total square footage from the previous question, 104, and to that I need to add the 10 additional tiles. All right, 104 plus 10 is 114. So I need a total of 114 1 square foot tiles, or total of 114 times the 450. So 114 tiles times $4.50 each. Pulling up my calculator, 114 times 4.5 equals $513. Okay? All right, so this question, this whole setup was on area. And a lot of this, so this is an area or a surface area. So I'm going to very quickly go back to my reference sheet. And I just want to show you that the area of a rectangle is length times width. Okay? So we just used that formula. All right, let's try another problem. This problem says that Angela is using water from her well to fill a fish tank that is shaped like a rectangular prism as shown in the diagram. Angela is going to fill the fish tank to a level that is 3 inches below the top of the tank. Angela's well pumps 8 gallons of water per minute. How many minutes will it take to fill the fish tank? So there's a lot going on here. First of all, we need to figure out how many cubic feet of water that fish tank will hold up to 3 inches from the top. Then we need to take that total and divide it by 8 gallons because that's how fast or how many gallons of water are pumped from her well per minute to figure out the total. So, and we need to do a conversion here of cubic feet to gallons. All right. The most interesting thing about this question is that you see all of my measurements are in feet, but I know that the fish tank needs to get filled 3 inches from the top. So I like working with decimals, and I know that you guys do as well. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to draw a ruler. I am a visual learner, and I know that you are as well. So this is 6 inches, this is 12 inches, 3 inches, 9 inches. So if I envision this just little diagram as my ruler, and I need just 3 inches of a foot, that is 1/4. You see that 3 inches is actually just 1/4. 1/4 is the same thing as 0.25. So I need to subtract a 0.25 from whatever the height dimension is going to be. Because I'm not going to fill, when I calculate the volume, I'm not going to fill this whole entire thing with water. So let's first of all look at our dimensions. 4 feet by 1.5 feet by 2 feet. The 2 feet represents the height, so I'm going to subtract a 0.25 from my height. So really I'm only filling up my fish tank 1.75 feet. So the first thing I need to do is calculate volume. I'm going to very quickly go back to the volume of a right rectangular prism. And it says that the volume is the length times the width times the height, or capital B, which stands for the area of the base, times the height. Okay, so volume equals length times width times height. So the volume is 1.75 times 1.5 times 4. I'm going to put them in order of the length, width, height.
What?
So the volume is length times width times height. So the length, 4 feet, times the width, 1.5, times my new height, which is 1.75. So let's see what our volume is. I have 4 times 1.5 times 1.75. So the volume of my fish tank is 10.5 cubic feet. All right, so the next thing I need to do is look at this conversion. 1 cubic foot is equivalent approximately to 7.5 gallons. So I need to take the total cubic feet, 10.5, and I have to multiply that by the 7.5 gallons to figure out how many gallons of water I actually need. So doing that, I see that I actually need 78.75 gallons of water. 78.75 gallons of water. Now the next part of the question says, Angela's well pumps 8 gallons of water per minute. How many minutes will it take to fill the fish tank? So I'm going to take my total gallons of water, 78.75, and I'm going to divide that by 8 gallons. That should tell me approximately how many minutes. $9.84375. So I need to know how many minutes. Well, I'm going to give my answer in a full minute. I'm going to round my answer to the nearest whole minute. So when I do that, I see that it will take me approximately 10 minutes to fill my fish tank. Approximately 10 minutes to fill my fish tank. And that's it. Now you try. I want you to complete the following questions, make sure that you show all of your work, and remember to use the reference sheet provided.